Forgot to add window. Okay, there we go. Hello. Good day, everyone. I'm Shiro Tamaya, your resident Coyote Phantom Thief at your service, and I am back for one final stream of Out of the Ocean, because this is most likely going to be the final stream. Today, last time, we got our poly ending, and it was fabulous. And then there was an extra bonus story, and thank God nothing terrible happened. A black screen, not very frightened of you. Shut up. Also, hello, Stolf. Thank you so much for stopping by. Welcome. Hope you're doing well. But yes, we got our poly ending, and now, today, we're gonna be CG searching, or ending searching, basically. Because, there are 4 more endings that we have not gotten. 2 of them seem pretty easy to get, so we're gonna start there. There's gonna be a lot of skipping, so ready your eyes. This could be a very short stream, but we will see. But yeah, we're gonna explore every choice, every option, see what's gonna happen, and yeah, let's get our first ending of the night, shall we? There's a really easy one to get. Yes, the beginning screen. Okay, this is the skip button. Skipping. We love the skip button and the rapidly changing music. I could just load my saves, honestly, but I think it's funnier to just skip. Alrighty, so the first ending we can get, I am using a guide to make this easier for ourselves, is simply don't help Noreen. Simply just say, nope, I'm out of here, goodbye. It's best not to get too involved. Alrighty. It's probably best not to get too involved, not if she's the real deal. If word about her spread, scientists in white coats will come knocking, and they'll want to cut her up and experiment on her, and I don't want to be around to witness that. I just want to live an ordinary life. That's my hope, at least. But the girl looks so defenseless that I pause. I can't really walk off and leave her, can I? On second thought, yes I can, baby. I think about it for a few minutes, biting the inside of my cheek. But in the end, I decide to abandon the strange girl lying on the shore. I have no idea who she is, and I don't want to get involved. I've only been living in Omonoshima for a week, and I'll be going to a brand new school tomorrow, where I'll be trying to fit in with a brand new bunch of people. I think I have enough to worry about already, without trying to make nice with what looks like a genuine mermaid. But there's no way she's the real deal. She can't be. It's impossible. It doesn't matter how real her tail might look. It has to be some incredibly convincing prop. I bet she's some local who went to a costume party and got drunk and wound up collapsing on the beach. Oh man, how wrong you are. That mermaid outfit must be hard to walk in, so it makes sense she'd stumble. I'm sure she'll wake up on her own soon enough. Then, embarrassed, she'll creep back to her home, and that'll be the end of it. Everything will be fine. I only came out to the beach to clear my head. I didn't think I'd wind up meeting this girl. So I won't meet her. Nobody can make me. Based, honestly. Oh god. I'll go back to the inn and I'll climb into my bed. Hello, Azul. Thank you so much for stopping by. Welcome. It is indeed Yuri time. Except right now we're denying the Yuri. And I'll climb into my bed and I'll pretend this never happened. And that's exactly what I do. I retreat back to bed, curled up with Tayo, my arms wound around his plush bulk. I look at Tayo's placid face, which is devoid of all intelligence, and softly mumble, "Hey, Tayo." Alright. "Hey, Tayo, did I do the right thing?" Naturally, I don't receive a reply. I never do. I know better than anybody that Tayo can't talk. As far as conversationalists go, he's pretty useless. Maybe the girl on the beach would have been easier to talk to if I'd thought to stir her into wakefulness. Leaving nature alone. Good job. Ah, yes. Do not touch the wild beasts. Leave them in their natural habitat. But no, I'm not going to think of that. I have my beloved Tayo to talk to, even if he can't talk back. I'm already very happy. So why do I feel so guilty? I give Tayo a reassuring squeeze, my cheek nuzzled against his plush side, as I mumble, "Well, it's fine. No matter what happens, I'll always have you." Come what may, Tayo is still here. He'll never leave me, largely because he can't. He's my most steadfast companion ever since I was a young girl. I've always been able to turn to him. And when you think about it, isn't that beautiful? Girl, that's lonely as fuck. I don't think there's any relationship in this world more meaningful than that between a girl and a sunfish. Sorry, Miss Mermaid, if you really are a mermaid, you never would have been able to get between me and Tayo. Girl, you're going delusional. My heart was stolen a long, long time ago. Fantastic. Oh my god, the images. Oh, this is just... Oh, it's like the meeting. Oh, this is kind of... Asuka, do not the blushing. You are my sunshine. Fantastic. Actually great. Okay. Let me go back. I think... Yes. Okay, so this is another ending I can get. Easy. Because this is... I guess I would like to have a girlfriend would lock you into a route. Like either Misuzu or Noreen. This is the poly route. But this is an ending right here. So it's middle time. I think dating's more trouble than it's worth. For all of my worrying about Misuzu and Noreen, I'm not sure if I'd want to date either of them. Maybe it would be better if we remained friends instead. After all, I'm going to have to go back to Tokyo next year. I probably shouldn't be angling to get a girlfriend. I'm only 16. I have plenty more time to figure out where my feelings stand. That's where my thoughts are on the matter, but Marina presses on regardless. Oh, and okay, now I can skip. Oh wow. Okay, I'm gonna have to skip a lot. The rapid sounds. Also, hi Shoal again, you suck. We're rapidly going through emotions. Everyone looks like they're spazzing out. Ace ending. Indeed, that is the ace ending. Actually, no, that's, okay. No, that's officially what it's called. Then we shit talk Shoal for 30 minutes. And somehow succeed. This is a lot I have to skip through. Yada 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 we were. Oh god, shut up. Oh, here we go. You can. Okay. I'm gonna rewind a little bit just to give context to what Noreen is saying.
Alright, I don't mind talking, but we should stay on the veranda. You can go back inside and watch TV, Noreen, if you don't mind. It's fine. I think you two should have as much space as you need, and Asuka's been hanging out with me all day. I don't want to be too greedy. I should be able to spend some time with her. She should be able to spend some time with her other friends, too. Thank you. Misuzu smiles faintly and bows her head. It is very much appreciated. Okay, I'll leave you both to it. Have fun, but not too much fun. Otherwise, I might get jealous, and then I'll have to put an evil mermaid's curse on you.
A giggling Noreen retreats back inside, leaving Misuzu and I on the veranda. I close the door behind us to give us some privacy, then look at Misuzu curiously. It's only around 16:30 or so, which means Misuzu must have come directly here from school. The sun is still high in the sky, of course, since it's early June. It's a hot day, and the blue sky overhead is almost completely devoid of clouds. The sun would be searing if not for the veranda above us, offering some much-needed shade. There is a bit of a breeze, but it's faint. The breeze just barely disturbs Misuzu's hair, the hem of her skirt. Faintly in the distance, I can hear the hum of cicadas. I guess it's getting to be that time of day where they do come out. They're kind of noisy, actually. So much so, I find it hard to hear Misuzu when she says, "You're probably aware of the nature of my visit by this point, but I thought I should be upfront about it. I know that I've caused you a good deal of issues over the last few days, and for that, I really am sorry." I blink at the top of Misuzu's head, a touch nonplussed. Her apology is over the top enough that I expect her to whip a sword out from the waistband of her skirt and offer to gut herself in ritualistic penance. She sounds upset enough for it, and hell, she's bowing so deeply, her nose is almost brushing against the veranda. She's being way too intense about this. I'm getting creeped out.
Hey, Misuzu! Easy there. You don't need to kowtow to me like I'm some sort of feudal warlord. It's kinda creepy. You're making me feel like I'm bullying you or something. Oh. My apologies, Asuka. I didn't mean to make things awkward. I'm, simply trying to set them right. This feels like the least I could do, really, after everything which has occurred. But maybe I went a bit too far. I seem to do that a lot. Once again, I must apologize. I always seem to be doing the wrong thing lately, even though everybody at school calls me Miss Perfect.
Misuzu, forgiveness, please. Fucking seppuku.
My mother would be very vexed if she knew I was in such a state.
Misuzu's weak laughter trails into a soft, sad sigh. She hangs her head, looking like a trampled lily, and inhales. Then softly she says,
I'm doing it again, aren't I? What? Making things awkward. You're looking at me like I've just grown another head. Well, that would be pretty freaky.
I smile, and to my relief, Misuzu smiles back, but weakly, then says,
But no.
Oh.
But no, I don't think you're making things awkward. I get that you feel pretty bad about something, but here's the thing. You've not told me what you're apologizing for yet, so I'm a little in the dark. I know It's hard to know if I can even accept this or not if you won't be straightforward about it, you know?
Oh. Mitsuzu starts as though she's been zapped by a taser.
Yes, I see. You're quite right. It would appear that it did slip my mind, but I thought it was obvious after my behavior yesterday. I wasn't exactly being subtle. You must have seen through my excuse in an instant.
You mean about your piano lesson?
Mitsuzu nods miserably.
Yes, indeed. We've been friends long enough that you know when I have piano lessons, and I didn't have one yesterday. I lied to you, even though you're supposed to be my friend. I lied to you because I like you too much.
I have a pretty good idea about where this is going, but...
What do you mean?
I mean, I like you more than just a friend. I want you to look at me the way you do Noreen, but I doubt it will ever happen. I like you. No, I love you. But I don't think you love me. Is that true?
Mitsuzu.
I look at Mitsuzu sadly for a few moments, the cicadas humming in the undergrowth. In the distance, I can hear the sounds of the construction workers ambling about. It's business as usual over here, but it barely registers. Mitsuzu's just told me something that's tipped my world upside down. It feels like her confession has changed everything between us. But by the same token, I don't think anything's really changed at all. I think I knew that Mitsuzu liked me. I was aware of it for a while, but I wasn't sure how to respond to her feelings. I didn't want to confront it, so I tried not to think about it. But I can't ignore how Mitsuzu feels, not when she's laid her heart bare to me. She's being sincere, so I should reply in turn. I'd like it if I could answer her positively. I don't want to upset Mitsuzu, but... Time to be a heartbreaker!
I'm sorry, Mitsuzu, but I don't feel the same way about you. I appreciate you a lot, and I think you're a good friend, but I don't love you.
Oh, I see.
Mitsuzu exhales. I see a flicker of pain cross her eyes, sharper than broken glass, but she tries to swallow it. She looks down at the ground. Is she incapable of meeting my gaze? Then says,
I thought this might happen. That's why I was so hesitant about confessing to you. I did imagine that you would not share my feelings. But I must ask, are you rejecting me because you prefer Noreen?
well, I expected that question. I thought Mitsuzu might ask it. It seems like a logical conclusion, I suppose, so I'm not thrown by it. I thought she might say that, but...
No, I don't like Noreen more than you. I like you both the same, actually.
The same?
That's right. I don't love Noreen either, if that's what you're asking. I don't want to date her.
Me. Girl, you are gayer than... gay. Actually, liar. I feel like this is also gonna be on the Noreen route. Probably.
I don't really know what it means to love somebody, honestly. But I do like you, Mitsuzu, and I understand why you did what you did. I'm not mad, and I don't want to hold a grudge. I still care about you. So why don't we stay friends? Would you mind that?
Friends,
There's a small pause, a moment filled with the humming of the cicadas in the undergrowth. Mitsuzu glances at me from beneath her eyelashes, seeming to ponder her options, then...
Well, all right. We can be friends, yes. It almost feels like it's more than I deserve after I did something so cruel. Part of me almost thinks I should reject your friendship. It feels too good for me. But if you don't mind being my friend regardless, then...
Mizuzu looks at my hand, which I'm holding out to her, my pinky finger extended. Aww. I will say, this is very wholesome, but also, Asuka, you're lying like a... You're lying. No, steps, sir. Jesus Christ. What? Can we show this on YouTube? I know, it's so lewd. I can't believe it. Then she lifts her own arm. Her little finger finds my own, and they both twine together. Mizuzu smiles, her face a little flushed as she says,
let's be friends.
Yeah, let's swear on it. You know how the old saying goes. Pinky promises are unbreakable. If you try to go back on it, you'll have to swallow 1,000 needles, and I'm gonna guess you don't want to do that.
How very astute of you. I cannot say the idea appeals very much, no. I have no desire to do anything so needlessly self-destructive. So I suppose I will have to continue being your friend, come what may.
That's right, you gotta. We did pinky promise on it and everything, which is basically a binding contract. That means you gotta stop feeling guilty, alright? You don't need to feel bad about what you did. I'm prepared to forgive you, and I'm sure Noreen will too.
Oh?
Mizuzu blinks. She looks at me from beneath her eyelashes as she says,
do you really think so?
I'm sure she will. I mean, you should know what Noreen's like by now. She isn't the sort of girl to hold a grudge. I'm sure she'll understand why you did what you did. I don't think she'll hold it against you either. That's just the way she is.
You might have a point. I cannot imagine Noreen taking it against me. And yet...
Mizuzu looks away, her pinky finger still entwined with my own. She sighs, then says,
I feel like I deserve some manner of punishment.
And why's that? Don't tell me you're some kind of masochist.
Girl! That's not the thing you just say out loud.
What?
Mizuzu's eyes widen in apparent alarm. A faint blush spreads across her cheeks. Okay, naked took it so... Oh my god. She takes a hasty step back, then says,
No, that's not it. Don't be ridiculous. I don't procure any particular pleasure over being punished. Of course, I don't. The idea never crossed my mind.
Girl, you're acting a little sus.
I'm not some sort of deviant. My desires are perfectly normal. Please do not imply that I am a pervert.
Noreen, oh god.
Who's a pervert? Oh, Noreen, I thought that you were still inside.
I was inside. I was prepared to let you two talk things out, but then I heard raised voices, and it sounded like you kind of like you were shouting. I don't really get it, but it made me worry. Is everything all right? Well, I just...
Jeez, Mizuzu has completely lost her composure. Her quiet, ladylike demeanor is nowhere to be found. I guess I should step in.
Mizuzu's just talking about Marina. Apparently she keeps trying to flirt with her mother. Isn't that right, Mizuzu?
Yes, that's right. I was just talking, about some of Marina's more troubling behavior. I am certain that she means well, and she is remarkably friendly, but Some of the things she has said to my mother do make me wonder. Well, that sounds like Marina all over. She's a funny woman, all right, but I can't hold it against her. She did help me out a lot last night, after all. I think she's a sweetheart, beneath all of the swagger. Oh, but where are my manners? Since you're here, Misuzu, why don't you stay for dinner? Oh, would you mind? I don't want to be a nuisance. You wouldn't be a nuisance. It'll be fine. I just need to let Shoko know. She's making dinner right now. She is? Misuzu frowns. I thought that Miss Kuonji was not feeling well. I heard she hit her head last night and she was in quite a bad state. Oh, a bump like a bump on the head is enough to stop Shoko. She's been up and about all day, even though me and Asuka told her to take things easy. We've both been kind of worried. But it's not possible to tell Shoko what to do. She's really impressive. Her will is so strong it could be made out of iron. I tried to help her in the kitchen earlier, but she shooed me away. She said she could manage perfectly fine without me, even though I just wanted to be there for her. It's not fair.
Shoko spiked the harlot's food. Oh my god. Noreen puffs out her cheeks poutily, then stamps on the ground for further effect. She seems pretty pissed about this, but I can't blame my aunt for wanting Noreen out of the kitchen, after all.
I don't know if you were being all that useful. Didn't you spill that bag of flour all over the floor?
Well, yes, but it was an honest mistake. I just wanted to help.
I think you broke a couple of plates too when you were getting them out of the cupboard.
Yes, but that's just how it is. There's a saying like that, isn't there? You can't make an omelet without breaking a few plates.
Girl, that's not a saying.
I think the saying is, without breaking a few eggs, actually.
And you are a bit of a menace. I don't really blame my aunt for shooing you out of the kitchen. Cooking isn't really your forte. But what about you, Misuzu? You're pretty good at cooking, aren't you? You never mix up the salt and the sugar, and your cookies are some of the best.
Oh yes, that's true. Your cookies are yummy, Misuzu. They're really, really good. Oh, I don't know about that. My cooking skills are rather rudimentary. I am by no means a culinary genius.
You don't need to be a culinary genius to be better than Noreen. You just need to have a teaspoonful of common sense.
Hey, that's not fair. Stop being so mean.
I'm not being mean, I'm just telling you the truth.
I flick Noreen in the forehead so she squeals.
Are a liability in the kitchen. At least Misuzu knows what she's doing. She's pretty good at cooking, actually. So why don't we do this? If you're worrying about Aunt Shoko, Misuzu, then you can help her with dinner. Then you can stay a little while and eat with us. Would that make you feel a bit better about everything?
I'm not sure. I would not want to get under Miss Kuonji's feet. I fear I would be a nuisance in any way. Oh, Misuzu, don't be like that. Come on, stay over. I want to spend more time with you. I feel like we hardly ever get a chance to talk. Since I don't go to school with you and Asuka, I don't want to waste this chance. And I'd love to try some more of your cookies. They're super yummy. I'm not sure. They really aren't that good. But if you really want to try them, then I suppose I could stay for a little while. If I text my mother, she might not mind. I don't have to go to cram school today, so I might have a bit of leeway to spend time here. Yay! Thank you, Misuzu. That's really nice of you. I'm looking forward to it.
Third wheel ending? I mean, possibly.
I really, really want to eat your cookies again.
Oh, maybe really. Noreen skips forward, then takes a hold of Misuzu's hand. She gently she brushes her lips against Misuzu's cheek in a quick, fleeting kiss, then draws back. Her blonde hair flutters around her shoulders like a cloud, soft and fluffy, as she says, I'm gonna tell Shoko you're here. I'm sure she'll be happy to see you. She likes you a lot. She thinks you're a real well-bred lady. And I bet she'll like you even more after she's tried your cookies. Oh, hi, Marina.
Oh, what's this about homemade cookies?
Another voice puts in, one a little deeper than Noreen's. It is, of course, Marina. I wonder what she wants.
Hey, Marina. What are you doing here?
How suspicious. I come in peace, I swear. I'm not here to harass you, so don't get your knickers in a twist. I actually wanted to talk to Shoko about something. I've run into a bit of a problem when I was plastering one of the guest rooms, and I wanted a second opinion on it. But it sounds, based on your conversation, that Shoko's otherwise indisposed?
She's busy making dinner now, if that's what you mean.
I thought as much. I don't want to bother her when she's busy, so... Marina makes a show of thinking for a few moments, one hand beneath her chin. There's a pause, and then... I know. Why don't I hang around here until Shoko's finished with dinner? Then I can ask her about the issue with the guest rooms. After I've helped myself to some of Shoko's cooking, of course. Marina's just like, I have a Sprite too. I'm inserting myself here. I've been working my fingers to the bone lately, and I think I deserve a bit of reimbursement. And Shoko's miso soup is really delicious. I bet Shoal's knickers are in a twist at the bottom of the ocean. They are, and they should be. I too am in this vegan. Indeed. It's even better than the soup that Diddy's grandmother makes, and that's saying something. I could drink 10 bowls of it and not get sick of it.
I think 10 bowls might be a bit of a tall order. But I guess you are pretty tall yourself. I can imagine you downing that much miso soup. You might have to temper your expectations, though. My aunt may be back on her feet, but she's still not feeling 100%. Don't run her ragged with your selfish requests, do you hear?
Me? Selfish? I never. I just wanted to check on the boss lady to see if she's alright. Is that such a crime?
Huh, that's funny. To me, it sounded like you just wanted to eat her cooking.
Well, I can't blame her for that. Shoko's cooking is really good. I can't get enough of it myself. And I think Marina deserves it. She does work hard. And she's helped us out a lot last night too.
Wow, I am struggling to speak today.
Feeding her seems like the least we can do to help.
That's right, you heard the little lady. Feeding me is the least you could do.
And I'm curious about your cookies, me too, Misuzu. I want to try them myself. I need to hear if they're as good as I've been led to believe. Inquiring minds really do wish to know. Oh, well, I don't want to get in the way, but you're all so insistent, so... Alright, I'll see if Miss Kuonji would not mind too terribly if I use the kitchen too. Would that make you all happy? It'd make me very, very happy.
Same here. I love meat myself. Chicken liver is one of my favorites. But nothing beats some baked goods prepared by hands as elegant as yours, Misuzu. I'm looking forward to it.
Right. I suppose I had best get to work then.
Misuzu sighs. She glances up at me from beneath her eyelashes, which are dark as coal. Then, she smiles. Her eyes seem to shimmer, her previous upset all but forgotten as she mouths, "Thank you." She doesn't say it out loud. Maybe she's too embarrassed, but I understand what she's trying to express regardless. I accept Misuzu's thanks with a smile of my own, a bow of my head. Then I mouth a reply back to her, one which I hope will assuage the worst of her guilt. I know Misuzu has been feeling bad about whatever happened last night with Shoal and Aunt Shoko, and I can't blame her. She was responsible for what happened after all. If I were in her shoes, I would feel guilty too. Now Marina starts a polyroot with Narina and Misu. That one might be a little iffy there, because Marina is older. But I don't want her to be. I can't even think about being angry with her. Our eyes meet, the sun shimmering overhead as I mouth,
It's alright, Misuzu. Don't mention it.
Dinner that night is a lively affair, much more so than usual. When I first moved to Omorishima, my Aunt Shoko and I were the only people at the dinner table. Our meals were a little strained, and there was a lot of silence between us. Neither of us liked to talk too much, which made the atmosphere feel a little uncomfortable. This changed, however, after I met Noreen washed up on the beach. I took her back home, and though I initially tried to keep her a secret, I couldn't accomplish this for very long. The cat was soon let out of the bag, or maybe it would be more accurate to say that the goldfish was let out of the bowl, and Aunt Shoko cottoned on to Noreen's presence. After that, Noreen became a permanent fixture around the dinner table. She helped lighten the atmosphere considerably, with her streams of light-hearted chatter and her bright smile. She brought some much-needed warmth into the inn and into my life. But the dinner table was even more crowded today. Misuzu and Marina were both there, chowing down on my aunt's food. Well, Marina was. I think Misuzu's too ladylike, however, to chow down on anything. And chattering, but again, that was mostly Marina than Misuzu. I've not eaten with Marina before, but having her around was a lot of fun. She was very talkative, just as I imagined, and she kept us entertained with a stream of stories from her various odd jobs about the island. We round off the meal with some freshly baked cookies which Misuzu prepared. Cookies which were every bit as delicious, if not even more so, than the one she made in home ec that one time. I feel pleasantly full as the evening winds down, and I retreat to my bedroom to rest. Today went much better than it could have. Aunt Shoko didn't suffer too grievously from Shoal's attack. Noreen is still with us, and I was able to make up with Misuzu. I should feel happy about this turn of events, and part of me is. But I still feel a touch uneasy. I can't forget that Misuzu confessed to me. She was being very earnest about it. Her tone so sincere it hurt. But for whatever reason, I couldn't return her feelings. I guess I just don't feel the same way about her as she does me. It's a little sad. I don't want to disappoint Misuzu, but there's nothing I can do. Nothing I can really do about that. I can't help the way I feel. I don't think I've done anything wrong per se. There's no shame in turning somebody down. But all the same.
I don't know what's going on in my head.
I mumble to Tayo, whose soft plush body is pressed up against my chest.
I thought that I liked Noreen, but I'm not sure. I can't even really imagine myself dating her either. I don't dislike her, but I don't know if I love her. I haven't known her very long. I haven't known her long enough. I don't get it.
I look at Tayo balefully, hoping he might be able to bail me out. But like always, Tayo remains mute and motionless. You're gay, Asuka. You're being a repressed lesbian. Stop it. I should have expected as much since he's just a stuffed fish, but the silence is uncomfortably oppressive. I know that Misuzu and Noreen both like me, but I wasn't able to answer their feelings. I feel like I've let both of them down, which isn't exactly a pleasant sensation. It's cold and hard, like I've swallowed a stone. It weighs heavily in the pit of my stomach, so I feel sick. The seconds pass me by, then the minutes, but no matter how I toss and turn, I can't get comfortable. It's not a warm night. In fact, it feels a little cool, but I feel stifled all of a sudden inside my room. I can't stay here. It feels like this room is sapping my air, making it hard to breathe. I rise to my feet, the springs of my bed creaking, then turn to my chair where my old clothes are resting. I guess there's nothing else for it. If I can't go to sleep, which I can, believe me, I've tried, I might as well go for a bit of a wander. That might help clear my head, if nothing else. I've become pretty fond of these late night walks, actually. They're reassuring. The breeze feels comfortably cool against my face, so I shudder, and the moon, as always, looks very bright in the cloudless sky. The stars are numerous, scattered above my head like spilled glitter. And then she finds another mermaid on the beach. It's part 2, baby. Well, Marina's technically a former mermaid, so I guess that's not too inaccurate. Oh, hey there, kiddo. I had a feeling I might be seeing you. And it helps that I'm not the only person out here beneath the nighttime sky. Marina's here too, as she often seems to be. Her hair is tied up in that high ponytail of hers, and she's resting languorously on the veranda, can of beer in one hand and that crooked smile of hers playing about her lips. She looks at me. I guess she was alerted to my presence by the sound of my footsteps, and waves. Like always, she's holding a slightly crumpled can of beer in one hand, a silvery can which winks in the moon's light. Another mermaid has hit the beach. Incoming! We've been running into each other a lot, out here a lot, don't you think?
I guess.
I reply with a non-committal shrug of my shoulders. I don't really feel like talking about all my late night walks with Marina, or what's been prompting them, but I don't feel like being alone either. I like to be around somebody else, at least so I won't be stuck in bed with my own stupid thoughts. So I approach her, and I take a seat beside her on the veranda. Marina shuffles back as I do, moving a few cans of beer out of my way, and I sigh as my behind brushes the wood. Marina noticed this. I guess she can't help it since I'm right next to her, and her brow creases. Show the CG again for reasons. Yeah, for reasons, you know. Real important reasons here. God damn! Anyways. Now that was a big sigh. If you do that, all your happiness will escape out of your mouth, you know?
Yeah, I've heard that one before. I'm surprised you know, though.
Why? 'Cause I'm a mermaid? Marina smiles, then nudges me in the side. I might have come from the ocean, just like Shoal Noreen, but I've been living on dry land for, it's been about 6 years at this point. I'm pretty well integrated into human society. I've picked up a lot of your turns of phrase, even some of the more old-fashioned ones.
Old-fashioned?
Yeah, like, if wishes were horses, beggars could ride, and a bird's in the hand's worth 2 in the bush.
Oh, you're right. Those are some pretty old-fashioned sayings. Not even my own parents use those. Where'd you even hear them anyways?
From Riri's grandmother, mostly. She's a real fierce old lady. She wasn't best pleased that I was dating her granddaughter either, not in the beginning. I'm not even gonna say that. You think Marina has brain rot? Who knows? But she's warned to me since then, mostly because I helped fix up some of the smashed tiles on her roof. If there's one good thing I'm at, it's physical labor. It's my bread and butter. Marina flexes her muscles as she says this, and then laughs. Now that's an old-fashioned saying I learned from Hiri's grandmother. She's full of them. She's such a funny old lady, but she's been real nice to me now. She's always trying to butter me up when I go round to see her. I can never leave her place without pressing a cup of green tea on me, or... hold on. I can never leave her place without her pressing a cup of green tea on me, or a bunch of rice crackers. But never mind that. I'm surprised you didn't trapeze all the way outside to talk about Riri's grandmother, not at this hour. Are you doing alright, kiddo?
Well...
I let my voice trail off as I look about the darkened garden. I draw my legs up to my chest, my arms twining around them, and mumble.
I'm still alive, so I could be worse, I guess.
How very wise. You know, Riri's grandmother always says that too.
She does?
Well, words to that effect. She always says she'll be fine so long as she has her health. And she's pretty healthy too, surprisingly so, for a woman who's almost 90. She's as fit as a bird. She never seems to get coughs or colds, and she's as lucid as anything. She can still beat Riri pretty handily when they play shogi. She's as smart as a whip. Maybe you and her would get along.
I'm not so sure about that. I find it hard enough to get along with people my own age, let alone your girlfriend's elderly relatives.
You say that, but you seem pretty personable to me, Asuka. I know you worried about fitting in when you arrived in Omorishima, but I think you've done pretty well for yourself. Grandmother, oh god, no. How do you do, fellow humans?
You do?
Yes, you're good friends with Narina and Misuzu, and don't they both love you? Well, she's not wrong about that. Misuzu and Narina are both fond of me, but that's my whole problem. Uneasily, I bite the inside of my cheek. There's a pause and then...
Hey, Marina?
Yes, Asuka? What's eating you?
I was just wondering, this might be a bit intrusive, but I wanted to know, when did you first find out you like Ririko?
Oh? I don't think Marina expected this question because her eyes widen. There's a brief pause and then... Are you curious about how we met, Asuka?
A little, I guess. I mean, I know some general details, but you never really talked about it before. I guess you were trying to keep quiet since you didn't want me to know you're a mermaid, but...
Now the cat's well and truly out of the bag, you figured you might as well go for it, broke?
Something like that, I guess.
What's eating you? Well, not Narina and Mizu, apparently. Unfortunately for Asuka, she is not getting anything.
Are they more sayings from Ririko's grandmother?
Ha! You got it in one. You're a pretty sharp kid.
Oh, I'm not sure about that.
Then are you saying I'm easy to read?
Well, I didn't mean it like that. But maybe a little.
That's fair. Riri always told me I'm the sort who wears my emotions on my sleeve. It's always pretty easy to figure out what I'm feeling, or at least, that's what I've heard. I'm as transparent as a moon jellyfish. But to answer your question, well, I guess it was love at first sight when I saw her. Or something like that. Ow. Ugh. Jeez. Or something like that, at least. I've never been the most sentimental of people, if you can believe it. But that changed when I saw Riri. She changed me. It's like seeing her flip some sort of switch in my brain. A switch which made me turn into the happiest, most embarrassing romantic you've ever seen. I used to think I was too much of an individual to fall in love. In that sense, maybe I was a bit like Shoal. I was pretty arrogant, and I always used to put myself above others. I don't know if I really had the right temperament to fall in love, much less have a relationship. But seeing Nidhi was enough to make me change. It happened instantly, too. Just like... Marina snaps her fingers. That. She rewired my brain, and I knew from that moment I wanted to be with her. That's how much I love her.
I see.
There is something pretty romantic about that, I guess. Seeing somebody that you have such a deep connection with that you're willing to change yourself so you can be with them. All this talk about love at first sight makes me think of fairy tales, actually. Though now that I think about it, Marina's not too many steps removed from a being that does reside in fairy tales. After all, she is a mermaid. Aren't mermaids well known for falling in love with humans that's suffering for it? That was the fate of the most popular mermaid out there, at least. But Marina's story doesn't seem to be all that tragic. There was no sacrificing her voice or wishing for a pair of fragile human legs that made her feel as though she was walking on knives. She never had to stab anybody either, as far as I know, for the sake of her love. And she hasn't turned into sea foam either. It seems like her story is much more palatable than the one Anderson cooked up for his Little Mermaid. That only serves to make me even more curious, though. Oh! Return.
When did you first see Ririko? I guess it was about 6 years ago, since that's when you first came to Omorishima?
Looks like somebody's curious. You have heard that it killed the cat, haven't you?
That's a pretty well-known saying, yes. I'm familiar with it. But why are you bringing it up? That wasn't supposed to be a threat, was it?
What? Oh no. I just wanted to sound cool, I guess.
By implying that my death is imminent if I keep asking you about your past?
Well... A laughing Marina runs a hand through her hair, then says, It sounds kind of bad when you say it like that, Asuka. Slowly turns, say that again? Yeah, I don't know all the sayings that hold on. Looks like somebody could... Oh yeah, okay, no, I get it. It's just the phrasing is strange. It's like curiosity killed the cat, but yeah. But it was very awkward for me to say that line. Because it's like, I know what she wants to say, but my mind's trying to autocorrect it so it sounds like the actual phrase.
That's because it is bad, jeez. Did you never learn to think before you speak?
It must have slipped my mind. I can be pretty thoughtless from time to time. So much so, it's a wonder Diddy's still with me. Sometimes I don't know what she sees in me. But we're still together, even after all these years, so I guess that's gotta count for something. She must like me a fair bit, even if I do wind her up. Then again, everybody seems to wind Diddy up. She has a pretty short temper. She pouts a lot, but I think that's one of her charm points. She's adorable, really.
Yes, you have said. You're very keen about complimenting her. But how did you meet? I'm guessing it must have been kind of dramatic since you're a mermaid?
Well, let me see. Marina smiles faintly. After taking another swig of her beer, she wipes her mouth with the back of her muscular forearm and says, It happened just before my 21st birthday. And this is pretty significant, mind you.
It is?
Mm-hmm. In mermaid culture, we're generally considered adults when we become 21. That means we're expected to start contributing to society. That's also why Shoal's attempts to marry Noreen were kind of sketchy. I mean, she's not a real adult yet, but that's probably why Shoal liked her. Ew, that's gross. Ew! What the fuck? He figured she was so young she wouldn't know how to stand up for herself. That creep. That's so gross. Huh? Yeah, no, that's disgusting. Did Shoal come from an island? Shoal. Shoal is just gross. That's all I can say. I really can't believe that I'm related to that yellow-tailed tuna fish. But I digress. In many cases, our parents decide what jobs we ought to be doing. Our society is very parental, even more so than human society. From what I've gathered, at least. I know some humans are expected to inherit their family businesses. And their family's businesses. That's how Riri wound up working at Seaside Sweets, but it doesn't seem quite as rigorous as up here as it is out in the ocean. In my pod of mermaids, at least, we were all expected to follow our parents' orders, especially when we turned 21. I knew on the night before my 21st birthday that I'd probably wind up being named the official successor of the king and queen, the future ruler of the ocean. Well, I've already told you that I wasn't interested in that at all. I didn't want to spend the rest of my life sitting on a throne lording over everybody. Or ladying over everybody in this case. I was almost 21, but I still felt pretty immature. And I guess I still do, actually. There's a whole load I don't know, and I'm willing to admit it too. I'm not like Shoal, who's so superior. He always acts like he knows exactly what's going on, but he doesn't. It's just an act. But it's an act he kind of has to put on as a prince. Nobody will respect a ruler if they doubt themselves. It's an unfortunate aspect of being born into the royal family. In a sense, I almost pity him. Here, Marina shakes her head. She smiles, then says, "Man, imagine the night before the next successor to the throne just disappears. Yeah, that's probably gonna stir up chaos." But that's besides the point. I'm not meant to be talking about Shoal now, and I don't want to give him any more breath if I can help it. I'm sure he'd be thrilled to know how he's dominating the conversation even now. I don't want to give him the satisfaction. So, let's talk about how I met Riri.
You said it was the night before your 21st birthday.
That's right. When my birthday was on the horizon and the threat of being announced the official heir was looming, I did the only thing I could think of doing, something that Noreen must be familiar with, bless her heart. I decided to leave my old home and to live amongst the world of humans. I swam all the way up to the surface, to Omorishima. Not that I'd done this before, of course. I'd visited Omorishima a few times in the past, though I always hid myself away behind the rocks. I'd listened to people wandering the beach, and I tried to learn about the human world before returning. But I knew I couldn't do that, not that night. There was no returning for me. I'd already abandoned the world of mermaids, and I'd abandoned my birthright too. I couldn't go back, so I could only go forward. That was what I told myself, at least, but I was still a little anxious.
Anxious?
I look at Marina askance, my head cocked.
I didn't know you could get anxious. You always seem so confident.
And I'm glad to hear that. That's the image I like to project, at least. I don't ever want anybody to pity me. I'm happy being this bright, bold, confident, incredibly beautiful woman. Thank you very much. Marina grins while I roll my eyes. Marina might be a lot of things, but it doesn't seem like humble is a trait she possesses. But yeah, this was the first time I was going to interact with a human directly, so I was pretty antsy about it. I wasn't sure how things would unfold, but when I saw Riri, all my doubts disappeared in an instant.
Did you find her on the shore then?
That's right. She was sitting on the seawall, looking out over the ocean. She was holding a can of beer in her hand, like I am. It was probably the same brand I'm drinking now, actually. I got a taste for this stuff because of Riri, and she was sobbing. You see. Oh. Oh wow, we're really doing backstory. This is interesting. I didn't think this route would go this way. How could she have done this to me? I thought she said she loved me. She said we'd always be together, but... I guess her promises didn't mean a goddamn thing. They were worth even less than the fucking air. Oh wow, we're really swearing. At least the air is important. We need to goddamn live or something. I'm not a mermaid, so I can't breathe beneath the water, but fuck. Yeah, okay, Kaoru. God. What's with her anyway? How could she be such a bitch? You don't tell somebody you love them, then break up with them the very next night. That's like psychopath stuff. In fact, I wonder if she wasn't a serial killer after all. She never did let me visit her apartment, though we were together for 2 goddamn months. She was always so fucking secretive. I should have known she was hiding something, but fuck all of this. Fuck my stupid life, and fuck Kirara. And fuck the cashier at the fucking convenience store who tried to fucking shortchange me. As if I don't have enough shit going on right now. Go off, Ririko, actually. Based. Well, I'd leave the ocean for Ririko. The girl is based. Go curse. Cuss them out. Fuck! And there's Marina. Damn, Marina looks... Oh, she has a purple tail. She looks so pretty like that. Wow. Well, well, it sure sounds like somebody's going through it. Do you often come to the beach to curse like a sailor, or is tonight a special event? Huh? Huh? Who the fuck said that? Down here. Can you see me? I know it's pretty dark, but I've heard it said that I have lovely eyes. Apparently, they're just as blue as sapphires. I'd like to see what her sailor's mouth can do. God. Huh? What the... Wait. What the hell are you? What do you mean, what am I? I thought it would have been obvious. I'm a mermaid. Can't you see by my tail? I am... Fuck. I guess you do look the part, but... No, there's no goddamn way. Oh, and why not? You don't think I'm lying to you, do you? I'm hurt. No, I don't, but... Sorry, miss, what's your name? It's Marina. Marina, right. I'm, Ririko. Suzukaze Ririko. Not that you asked. I guess you don't really need to know my name, either. Shit, why did I give it to you anyway? Probably some kind of weirdo. Hey, I resent that. I'm not some weirdo. I mean, I'm not the one sobbing my guts out on the beach and screaming to myself like a mad woman. Aren't you the one who's acting weird here? Shit, I guess I can't argue with that, but... You say you're a mermaid? Obviously, I mean, I do have a tail to prove it. What else would I be, huh? What else indeed? That's a good point. The tail makes it hard to believe you're anything else, but... It's not like... Seriously. I'm not like seriously going insane, am I? Well, I don't know. I don't think it's up for me to judge that. I'm not a doctor, so I can't really comment on the state of your mental health. But you have been shouting to yourself for a while. Isn't that a common symptom of madness? Yeah, you're right. It's a symptom of madness. My grandmother used to do that sometimes. My parental grandmother, I mean. And she was as batty as a belfry in the end, but could I really be going insane? I don't know. Like I said, I can't diagnose you. But why do you think that? Isn't that obvious? It's because I'm talking to a fucking mermaid. And is that proof you're starting to go a little bit crazy? Duh. What else would it be proof of? I mean, you shouldn't exist. Shouldn't I? No, you're fairy tale creatures. You aren't real, or you shouldn't be. This is way too crazy. There's no way this is actually happening. You have to be some sort of hallucination. Or maybe you're a person dressing up, and you're playing a prank to fool me? This isn't some kind of elaborate joke, is it? I gotta say... Alrighty, Azul, thank you so much for stopping by. I do hope you enjoy the rest of the VOD if you do watch. No, it isn't. Why would it be? I've never met you before. Why would I do something that cruel? I don't know. I'm trying to get to the bottom of this all, but fuck. This whole day has felt like a cruel joke. First, I stubbed my toe when I woke up, and then I had to deal with that asshole Imai in the office who kept trying to make a move on me. I'm starting to think I should cut my losses and go work at my folks' cafe, even though the cutesy uniforms are enough to make me barf. And then, when I'd finally clocked off and went to meet up with my girlfriend, she freaking dumped me! I see. That does sound like a pretty rotten day. I'm sorry to hear. I bet you're real sorry to hear since you're a figment of my imagination. There's no way you're real. And do you think that because mermaids are from fairy tales? That's right. This is all messed up. Kirara dumping me must have made me go nuts or something. I feel like my brain's been broken. By the way, the developer should give you $2.59. Bought this VN thanks to you. Hey, glad to see you bought the VN. It's really good. It's such a cute VN. If I can get any of you to buy VNs that I end up playing, then I'm doing something right. But I didn't think I liked her all that much. We were together for a little, yeah, but it was only 2 months. That's nowhere near enough time to make me go completely off the deep end. Can't be mad unless I've had too much to drink. Can drinking make you see things which aren't there? If you knock back too much alcohol, yeah, but I've only been sipping on the 1 can. Then that shouldn't be enough to... Oh, that shouldn't be enough to make me see visions. This is a real predicament. Then, what do you think? Are you gonna accept that I'm real after all? That seems like the only thing I can do, unless I want to accept that I've gone insane, and I don't feel insane, you know? I don't think I've lost any of my faculties, so I feel pretty normal, even if I am a little buzzed. This is still impossible. Mermaids shouldn't exist. They shouldn't, no. But I still do. I'm here, and I'm not going to go away. Not when you're in such a sorry state. Not when you're in such a state. It looks like you could use somebody to talk to. And if I'm being honest, I'm having a pretty crappy day too. I don't really want to go back to the ocean. That's why I escaped. You escaped? That's right. I have a lot of responsibilities down there, and they were getting to me. I didn't want to deal with any of that junk, so I came up here instead. I wanted to see if there are any humans who'd be willing to take me in.
But you look like you could use some help yourself. Do I really look that bad? You look pretty bad, yeah. Your eyes are all dark and your face is kind of streaky. Plus, you've been slurring your words for a little while. Are you sure you've only had one drink? Well, maybe I had another, but... Fuck, I can't believe this. Believe what? There's a half-fish freak taking pity on me. That's crazy. This whole situation is so wild, I don't know if I should laugh or cry. Well, it looks like you've done a fair amount of crying already, and a whole bunch of shouting. I don't know what you're trying to accomplish exactly, but it doesn't seem to have helped very much. So, why don't we do something to take your mind off things? Something? What's something? Oh, it'll be something fun, I promise. Don't look so suspicious. Just as I thought. Seeing as you're in a bad mood and all, why don't we go to karaoke? I've heard it's a really good way to de-stress, especially when you're sad. Huh? You know what karaoke is? Well, I've heard about it. I don't know about all the particulars, but isn't it something you humans do when you want to forget things? I think you go into this dark room and you get to sing a whole bunch of songs. And I've heard you can order a load of drinks too. It sounds like a good time to me. I've always wanted to try it out. Wow, it sounds like you know a lot about human culture. That's surprising given your, well, you know. I know. I've never really had a chance to interact with humans that much. Not face to face, at least. But I do come to the shore a bunch, when I want to clear my head, or when I want to get away from my annoying cousin. I've heard a lot of you humans talking amongst yourself when you're sitting on the shore, so I've picked up some bits and pieces about your culture. For example, I know that karaoke is super popular. It's a mainstay with teenage girls and depressed, down on their luck businesswomen. Whenever there's a group of girls or women sitting on by the shore, complaining about their test results or their boss, or maybe they've been dumped, somebody will always say, ahem. Why don't we all go to karaoke? That'll cheer us all up. We can all sing really loudly and we'll forget all of this BS. We'll have a blast. Huh. That's interesting. Is karaoke really that popular? It sure seems like it. I've heard a lot about it, so I want to give it a go myself. I mean, I have plenty of worries I'd like to vent. It's not easy living under the ocean. In fact, I'm pretty freaking sick of it. I want to cut loose too. Let's have some fun. You say that, but how are you gonna go about that? I mean, you don't have any legs. Won't that cause a few issues? Aw, it's fine. I might be a mermaid, but I can take on human form for at least a little while. I've been practicing, so I've gotten pretty good at it. Huh, that's interesting, I guess, but do you have any clothes to wear other than those shells? Nope. So why? Is that a bad thing? It is quite bad, yes. This isn't a nudist beach. I don't want you getting arrested. So how about this? Stay here on the beach in the shade. I'll return to my home. It's not very far away, and I'll get you some clothes. Then I can come back and you can transform into a human. Or whatever it is you do. And you can cover yourself up. And we can go to karaoke together. How does that sound? Ooh, would you really be willing to go to karaoke with me, Didi? Well, you did suggest it to cheer me up, and it doesn't sound like such a terrible idea, really. Oh my god, my name is gonna wear me because fancy. Oh my god. I just like how Nidiko just slowly accepts it and he's just like, you know what, fuck this shit. The devil knows I need to take a break in any case. I have been working rather hard lately, and I can't say that I appreciate being stood up by my date. I don't want to spend tonight in bed feeling miserable, so this is as good as an idea as any.
I'm not one to look a gift horse in the mouth. Or gift fish, for that matter. You're such a joker, Didi. I'm only half fish, you know. Yes, I did gather, though you are still more fish than the average person. Then again, I suppose that is a pointless distinction to make. There's nothing average about you, is there, Marina? Nope. I pride myself on living life to the fullest. I'm just here to have a good time. But I don't mind looking out for you if you need it. Do you want to call me Big Sis? Ew, I think I just threw up in my mouth a little. It's fine, I'm only teasing. But you can be kinda harsh sometimes, girl. It's a side effect of having to work in an office with so many stupid people. I find it incredibly tedious. But you are slightly less tedious than most. Ooh, do you really think? I believe so, yes. If nothing else, your company tonight ought to prove to be entertaining. Though I am curious about one thing. Oh, do you want to know my cup size? Girl. No, not that. Or how I got this shredded body. Not that either. Though I imagine as a mermaid you do a lot of swimming. That probably explains why you're so taut. Girl. You could have said that in so many ways. Why did you say it like that? That's not what I wanted to ask, though. Instead, I was wondering, why do you keep calling me that cute nickname when we've only just met? Huh? You're wondering about that, huh? Naturally, it feels like a sensible thing to query. You not agree? I guess so. But I think it's pretty simple. I'm calling you a cute nickname because I think you're cute. Is that so? Yup, please don't expect too much from me, Diddy. I really am that simple. But I'm also telling the truth here. I'm not exaggerating. I really do think that you're adorable. And that just about sums that up. I met Diddy on the beach, then wound up introducing myself to her. She was the first human I'd ever spoken to. In the past, I kept my distance, but I guess that was because of all my parents' warnings. I'd always heard that humans were untrustworthy, and they'd hunt us mermaids down for sport or food, or both, if given the chance. But it really didn't seem like she'd be interested in any of that. I mean, she's so skinny. She has such noodly arms and legs. I doubt she'd be able to hold a harpoon even if she wanted to. Marina chuckles at this, then shakes her head. She takes another swig of her beer as I watch, my lips pressed together. How many cans has she gone through anyway? The amount of cans littering the veranda is kind of worrying. Marina isn't slurring her words, however, and her face doesn't look flushed either. I guess she has a pretty high alcohol tolerance, but I guess she has a pretty high alcohol tolerance. I wonder if that's something inherent to being a mermaid. Or maybe she's just built different. I think she's just built different, Asuka. I figured I'd be safe around Diddy, and anyway, she looks so lonely, sitting on that beach by herself, I just couldn't leave her. I wanted to check up on her, to see if she was alright. And I really did think she was cute.
I see.
I digest Marina's story slowly, as one might chew on a piece of mochi. There's a pause and then...
I get why Noreen came to the shore. She didn't want to be buried off to shoal. That's perfectly understandable. He seems like a real ass. No offense meant?
Ha! Marina laughs heartily at this, a low sort of sound which reverberates in her throat. With amused eyes, she looks at me and says, "Do you really think I'm so close to shoal, Asuka, that I'd take offense at you saying he's an asshole?"
Well, no. I figured there was no love lost between you when I saw you talking to him on the beach.
And you'd be right. Shoal's a real bottom feeder. He has all of these ambitions, but he's too weak-willed to try and seize them on his own. He'll only inherit the throne because the position quite literally fell on his lap. There's nothing at all to recommend in him, no, not really. He's a complete and utter barnacle head. I almost feel like I should have stayed underwater and inherited the throne, if only to stop Shoal from screwing everything up. But I couldn't deal with the stress. I knew what I want. I knew I wanted to start a new life on dry land, where I was free to be my real self, not a princess or a queen. I wanted to cut loose and have some fun. And when I saw Riri sobbing, I figured, hey, why not try and be there for her? It looks like she's having a rotten time too, so we can band together. I wanted to commiserate with her. And she really is cute. I just couldn't keep away. I was like a sand eel to an anglerfish. She was so bright, even though she wore all black. I was enchanted.
And what happened after you met her on the beach? Did you go to karaoke after all?
Yeah, we did. Didi and wound up getting those clothes for me, like she said she would, though they were a little too small. Didi's shorter than I am, and she's nowhere near as muscular. But she found this oversized tee which fit, of course. It was black, and this pair of shorts which had always been too big for her. She got me some shoes too, surprisingly enough. Her old boots fit me just fine, and she helped dress me up. Once we were finished, I kinda looked like Riri myself. I'm nowhere near as pale as her, but she had me all done up in black. It was kind of funny, actually. I'll have to show you some photos sometime, if you want them. But yeah, Riri got me looking decent, as she put it, and then we went to karaoke after all. Riri paid for a couple hours, and we had more than a couple of drinks, and we both started singing. I didn't know any of the songs. Human music isn't exactly big in the ocean, you know. But I listened to Riri singing, and I started to join in. She put on a lot of these angry, shouty songs, and she screamed along with them. I don't know if she was even singing exactly, but it looked like she was having fun. She drank a lot, and she got into it. She got so into it, she even stood on the table. She was pretty wasted. In fact, she drank so much she couldn't stand up straight, so I had to escort her back home. I had to hold her, and she gave me directions. They weren't very good directions. She kept dropping off, and she couldn't remember which street she lived on, but we got back in the end. I let Riri into her apartment and asked if I could stay since, you know, I didn't have anywhere else to go, and it was already 4 in the morning.
It sounds like you were out for quite a while.
We were. We sang a lot, drank a lot, and in the end, Riri was so tired she just shrugged and said, whatever. She didn't exactly give me permission to stay in her place. Smiled sheepishly while scratching her cheek with her index finger. But she didn't kick me out either. She crawled into her futon. She used to live in this pretty small rundown apartment, and she fell asleep in about 5 seconds after we got back. She didn't even take her makeup off or anything. She was that out of it.
Oh wow, I didn't know Ririko was one to drink so much. She always seems so responsible.
She usually is, yeah. That's the face she puts on, at least, when she's at work. But when she goes out, she goes all out. She's a lot worse when it comes to drinking than I am. And I say this as somebody who loves a nice cold beer every once in a while. Or even a lukewarm beer. I think I got a taste for this stuff because of Riri, actually. She always has a 6-pack in the fridge and some more. She drinks like a fish, I swear. She's no good at holding her alcohol. She gets super hungover, and sometimes she throws up. But that's okay, because I'm there for her. I'll always be there for her. I mean, I love her. Hold on, give me 1 second. I see something. I see a bug, and I want to kill it. I missed. It flew away.
So, after that night, did you wind up staying with Ririko?
That's right. Ririko went to sleep in her room while I went into the bathroom. It was a real cramped and tiny. It was real cramped and tiny, and her tub was super small, but there was just enough space for me. Damn, so they both have a six-pack. That's my they, them. Shut up. Oh my god. I figured how to turn on the water, and then got in the tub and turned back into my mermaid form. I went to sleep like that in Nitty's tiny bathroom with these moldy walls, and that's where I stayed. Until a hungover Nitty staggered into the bathroom the next morning, and she saw me, and she screamed. Marina snickers as she says. She got so drunk she probably couldn't remember much of that night, meeting me on the shore and getting me those clothes and going to karaoke and all that. She had a real fright when she saw this mermaid all crammed in her bathtub. For a while, I think she thought I was a demon.
A demon?
I find that kind of hard to believe. Marina might have a bit of a sadistic streak, but she does have that crooked little smile. And she does have that crooked little smile, but I don't think there's anything particularly demonic about her. I think that Marina seems well-meaning. For the most part, at least. I find it hard to imagine her as being an avatar of destruction, though maybe she would be a fitting avatar of chaos? Well, she did scream when she saw me, like I said, and she tried hitting me over the head with a broom too. It wasn't very much fun. But we made up, even if the next door neighbor did come over and tell Odiri to stop. In fact, now that I think about it, that's probably why we made up. Odiri realized she was being ridiculous, and then she apologized. She seemed pretty embarrassed about it too. She was blushing and everything. It was really cute.
You seem to say that about Ririko a lot.
What, that she's cute?
It's come up quite a few times now.
Well, I can't help it. Nitty is cute. She's incredibly cute, in fact. I think she's adorable.
Even though she hit you with a broom?
Even so. I mean, she wasn't really in her right frame of mind back then, and I did give her a pretty big shock. Sorry, I'm drinking ramen. She was apologetic. She was apologetic after I explained everything to her. And she realized I wasn't a monster. We've gotten on pretty well since then. And it wasn't long after that we became a couple. Nidhi is my precious girlfriend, and I don't want to be without her. Shut up. Let me drink my ramune in peace. In fact, it's kind of funny. Marina smiles wryly while stretching out on the veranda. She glances at me beneath her lashes, which are fair, just like her hair, I suppose, then says, "Feels like I've known Nidhi all my life. The moment I saw her, I felt like I don't know, found some missing part of myself even. It felt like we were long-lost twins, like we were always meant to be together. I don't mean that in a creepy way. I'd never met her before in my life, not until I came across her on that beach, when she was in an awful mood. That only happened 6 years ago, but it feels like it's been much, much longer."
You said you felt like a part of you had always known her.
That's right. I guess that's what happens when you really love somebody. You meet them, and it's like something clicks into place in your brain, like slotting the final piece of a puzzle. Everything comes together. It's like the whole world suddenly makes sense, or at least that's how it felt for me. I had a real, so this is the girl I've always been looking for moment. But it's not like Riri was in the best of shapes when I came across her. She'd been crying and her makeup was running, and she looked kind of scary, almost like a skull or maybe a panda. Her cheeks were all covered in spidery lines of mascara, and her face was so pale she looked like death warmed up. You'd hardly know that the Riri I met on the beach and the Riri at the cafe are the same person. She was in such a state. But I still knew she was the one for me. I couldn't imagine being with anybody else. She stole my heart the first moment I locked my eyes on her. It really was love at first sight.
I see.
I reply after a pause. I examine Marina, watching as her fair hair shifts in the breeze, then say,
It sounds like you love her a lot, then.
Well, of course I do. I love everything about her. I love how sleepy she is in the mornings, and how much she struggles to get out of bed. I love that she has so many unusual interests. She has an ant farm, and she keeps a lot of exotic pets. Snakes and tarantulas and these huge snails. She's always so gentle and affectionate with them. I love looking on her face when she's looking after her milk snake. Oh, she has a milk snake. That's awesome. And I love the soothing little lullaby she sings to it. Oh, that is adorable, actually. Gotta sing the noodle a lullaby. And I love her fashion sense too. She wears so much black. She looks so cool. I love the little freckles that appear on her face in the summer, even though she tries to hide them with foundation. And I love the way she squeals when I poke her in the side. I love the music she listens to, and how good she is at baking, and the way she'll paint my nails for me when I ask. I even love her when she gets grumpy. I think that's adorable too. It's all part of her charm. She has no shortage of it. She really is the best girlfriend in the whole world.
Right.
I'm glad Marina loves Ririko so much. I really am. But I can't say I fully grasp Ririko's appeal. I don't think I'd want to date anybody who's always in a bad mood, personally. It sounds like it would be a bit of a drag, and doesn't it get old? Marina's enthusiasm is a little alien to me. But maybe I'm simply too young to appreciate the appeal of a woman who's constantly in a poor mood. I don't understand it now, but I might when I'm older. There's still plenty of time for me to grow up. But talking things through with Marina hasn't helped me settle my own feelings about Noreen and Misuzu. If anything, I feel even more mixed up. Do I love either one of them? I'm not sure. I certainly like them, but I don't know if I feel the same spark with them like Marina apparently did when she met Ririko. They don't feel like the missing pieces in some greater jigsaw puzzle, something which will improve my life exponentially. I care about them both a lot, but...
This is all so confusing.
I mumble more to myself than Marina. I'm not sure if I'm really looking for her to help. I'm not sure if there's much she can say that would help, but she still overhears me. She glances at me, then says, "What's confusing, kiddo? What's eating you?"
Oh, you know, the same old.
Are you still conflicted about Misuzu and Noreen?
That's right. I like both of them, but I don't know if I love either of them. They're good friends, but I can't tell if I want to be anything more than that. And I don't want to choose one over the other. That wouldn't be right. Not when I care about them both so much. I don't want either of them to feel left out. But if I really liked one of them, I feel like I wouldn't be worrying about this so much. I'd just ask the one I like the most. I'd just ask out the one I like the most, wouldn't I?
Well, that's hard to say. I can't tell how you feel, Asuka. That's something you'll have to figure out on your own. I can give you advice, but I can't tell you what the right decision is here. Whether you love one of them, or both of them, or neither of them. But I think that's just fine.
It is?
Yeah, I mean, you're still a kid. You're what, only 15?
Marina.
I pout at Marina, my arms folded.
We've been through this before. I'm 16.
What? There's a pause and then. So you are. Sorry, Asuka, my bad. It's been such a while since I was a teen myself. You all kind of blur together for me. And anyway, you are pretty shrimpy.
Everybody looks shrimpy to you. It's because you're much too tall.
Well, I won't deny that. I am pretty tall. That's one of the first things Judy said to me when she saw me out of the ocean. But no matter how tall or short you might be, my point still stands. You're still a kid, Asuka. It's alright if you don't understand your feelings yet. It's perfectly fine to be a little lost. You have enough time to come to terms with everything. But until that happens, I think you need to keep yourself busy. If you can find a way to take your mind off all of this, I'm sure you'll feel better. You really are worrying too much. She said the thing for all the credit.
Do you think so?
Yeah, I'm certain of it. If you keep fussing, you'll wind up with wrinkles long before your time, and that would be so tragic. You're still young, so you have so much left to live for. I don't want you working yourself up. So, why don't you work with me at Diddy's Cafe? It'll give you something to do, especially since the summer holidays are coming up. And you never know, you might enjoy it. You'll have a chance to earn a bit of money and you'll keep yourself busy. And you won't have to work so hard anymore, and I won't have to work so hard anymore myself. It's the perfect solution to all of our problems. I want to believe that Marina's suggesting this out of the goodness of her heart, but that last statement was awfully self-serving. I'm not sure how I feel about it. I get the not-so-vague impression that Marina is trying to take advantage of me here, but she does raise a good point. Maybe I have been worrying about Mizuzu and Noreen too much. It'd be good to get a chance to clear my head, to think about things. To think about other things, that. If I had a part-time job, it'd give me something else to focus on, especially when the summer vacation rolls around at the end of July, and I'll have a month off school. There'll be nothing else to occupy time. So I might as well do something to keep myself busy. I've never had a job before, not even a part-time one, but it's probably about time I got myself acclimated to the world of work. I mean, I am already 16. That's old enough to work as a waitress at a cafe. And the uniform at Seaside Suites is pretty cute. I don't think I'd mind wearing it. I am worried I might have to deal with some difficult customers, but I'm sure it'll be fine. Marina will be there, and she's already proven herself to be very effective when it comes to taking care of weirdos. I saw the way she's treated Shoal. She was very good at talking down to him, at diffusing the situation. I think I'll be alright if Marina's there. Plus, I do owe her one. Marina did help a lot when Noreen was being kidnapped. I don't know what would have happened to Noreen if it wasn't for her. I don't even want to think about it. Things could have gotten dicey very quickly, and they were pretty difficult for a while anyway. I feel like I should do Marina a favor. She's definitely earned it.
Alright, maybe I will give it a go. It's not like I was really looking for a summer job, but I guess it wouldn't hurt to keep busy, and it does sound like fun.
Oh, you'll be kept busy, alright. I don't know if you've realized, but Hiriko is a bit of a slave driver. If you want to work at Seaside Suites, you won't have much time to think about anything else. You'll have to dedicate yourself to serving my goddess Ririko, mind, body, and spirit. And that's the only way you'll ever be able to appease her.
Wow! Well...
I shuffle away from Marina, who looks a little too happy about this, and frowned. Since when was she a proponent of forced labor? Maybe it comes from being royalty. Marina doesn't act like any royal I've known. Not that I've really known any royals before meeting her. But I guess that fondness for overworking the underclasses comes bubbling up every once in a while. I guess she can't help herself.
I'm beginning to rethink my position now. Maybe I shouldn't work with you after all.
What? Marina pouch, then shifts closer to me. She lifts an arm around my shoulder. I wince at the weight of it. Just how muscular is she, anyway? Then says,
don't be like that, Asuka. I'm saying all of this for your own good. I just want you to have a fun and fulfilling summer, and trying to take your mind off things too.
Well, I volunteer. Oh god. You would.
I'm doing you a favor. It'll be fun.
You just said you wanted to work me into an early grave. What's so fun about that?
No, I never said that. You're exaggerating. I only told you that Riko runs a tight ship.
Yes, so tight that I'd have to dedicate my whole being to serving her. That sounds messed up. And how would I pledge my soul to her anyway? Would I have to sign some sort of contract?
Well, probably, since we'd be employing you. I think that's pretty standard, actually. Though I'm not too sure about the finer details. You'd have to ask Riri. She's the one who takes care of all the paperwork.
Great. As if this couldn't get any more dubious.
Don't be such a prude. Girl, just take the job. You're being offered.
I guess I'll have to read the fine print carefully to make sure I'm not signing away my immortal soul or anything.
I shudder, maybe a little dramatically, to punctuate my points. But if I'm being honest, I don't mind the idea of working with Marina and Ririko all that much. It might even be fun. If nothing else, it'll be something to look forward to, and it should help take my mind off of this love triangle I've somehow gotten caught up in. Geez, who knew being popular could be so hard? I can't say I know much about the subject of love. I'm still ignorant about it, even though Misuzu and Noreen seem pretty fond of me. I know they like me, and I like them, but I don't know whether I love them. It's a mystery to me, but it's a mystery I'm willing to unravel in my own time. Omonishima is a quiet, peaceful island. Time seems to pass slowly here, almost like a dream. It isn't fast and frantic like it was in Tokyo. It's quiet enough that I can really take my time to think things through. I can think about what I want to do with Misuzu and Noreen, but no matter what happens, I'm sure the three of us will remain friends. I'm certain of it.
Wow, that was longer than I thought. Maybe we will have a second stream just for the other two endings. Oh my god. Hey, look at her. You got... And hello, Didi.
Hey, Asuka, you're wanted at table 3.
Oh, right. I'll be there straight away.
And you need to clean up table 6 too. My hands are tied here.
I'm right on it.
And while you're at it, would you mind delivering this iced coffee to table 7? They've been waiting for a while.
Sure thing. Just leave it to me.
Some time has passed since Shoal's attempt to kidnap Noreen, and since my late-night conversation with Marina out on the veranda. It's been about a month since then, and the summer holidays have started up. It's the beginning of August now, and every single day is bright and sunny. The sky overhead so bright and blue it's almost searing. The white gulls are chirping outside, their orange beaks bared, and the smell of salt hangs in the air. It's another warm and sunny day on Omonishima, and I'm going to spend it working as hard as I can. I wound up inquiring about the position at Seaside Suites at the start of the summer, and after a bit of hemming and hawing on my part, and Ririko was only too happy to hire me. Or well, I say she was happy, but Ririko almost never seems happy. She has the most severe case of resting bitch face I have ever witnessed. It's part of her charm. I've been working at Seaside Suites for almost a fortnight, and I don't think I've seen Ririko smile once. I'm not sure if she's capable of it. I have to wonder if her facial muscles haven't atrophied from the lack of use over the years. Maybe she sold her soul to the devil and now she's lost the ability to emote? Her face hardly ever changes, except when she's sighing, and even then, her lips are only open a fraction of an inch. There's something doll-like about Ririko. Her face is so pale it looks like porcelain, though Marina has told me that Ririko isn't naturally that pasty. She applies a lot of foundation every single morning,
because she wants to look like a member of the undead, specifically a vampire. Oh my god. Since Ririko never smiles, it can be hard to tell what she's thinking, though she's been a fair boss since I started working here. True to Marina's warning, she's a bit of a slave driver. Seaside Sweets is understaffed, so I often have to wait more tables than I really should. My break time always winds up being whittled away, like a piece of driftwood in an artisan shop, and I'm on my feet for so many hours, they always ache whenever I get back home. As far as part-time jobs go, it's kind of hardcore, but Ririko pays me slightly more than minimum wage, and she lets me eat as many sweets here as I want free of charge. She doesn't scold me when I come in a few minutes late either, like some bosses would. Maybe because she's so used to working with Marina, who is often absent for hours at a time. Marina is supposed to help Ririko at the cafe, but between her work over at the inn and her odd gardening jobs, she isn't around all that much. It seems like Marina is in very high demand. As such, Ririko, who has no choice but to rely on me, and the other maid, Chinami, who's a student in Okubo Academy. Oh, what? Yeah. She started working here during the summer to save up some money so she can buy a new tank for her bullfrogs, Mayu and Miyu, I think they're called. Chinami talks a lot about her frogs. She even wears these frog-shaped ties in her hair, and her uniform is pale green. She's crazy about them, kind of like Noreen's crazy about cup pudding, and Misazu's a fan of historical romance novels. I'm not sure if there's anything I love all that much, other than sunfish, I guess, but...
Good morning, sir.
And thank you, Felix, so much for subscribing to the channel. Arigato! Welcome, new Phantom. Pleasure to have you aboard.
Good morning, sir. It's a pleasure to see you. Would you like me to show you to your seat?
I'm still young, like Marina said. There's plenty of time for me to discover what I like. Hold on. Welcome shakes you violently. There's plenty of time for me to discover what I like, and to discover more about myself too. Until that day comes, however, I'll take things slowly, one step at a time. That's the hope, at least. Hey, Riri, Asuka, look what I dragged off the street. This stray little flounder was wandering about like he'd been separated from his school. Apparently he swam all the way to Omonishima just to check on me to see how I've been doing. Oh, and he wanted a bit of advice from his cute, pretty, incredibly competent big cousin. Apparently, he's had no luck securing a wife. He wants to know how I was able to score a catch like you, Diddy, so he can finally put a ring on a fair maiden without her swimming away from him in horror. Shoal came for dating advice. Jesus Christ. Isn't that right? But looks like things are gonna get a lot more complicated. Marina went off to help the owner of a liquor store opposite move some heavy boxes, but she didn't come back empty-handed. She's standing next to a very familiar man indeed, one with hair most searingly blonde, wearing a cheetah print outfit which makes my nose wrinkle. At least he's not wearing the sunglasses. He looks less awful. Slightly. Hey, Marina. Shoal stammers, his face flushing. He glares up at Marina. She's a couple of inches taller than he is, as he squawks. You don't need to say all of that. There's some things that other people don't need to be made aware of. My issues ought to be kept within our family. They aren't something for the hoi polloi to bandy about. And what are you doing here? You don't want to take revenge on me, do you, after what I did to Noreen?
No, The thought never didn't cross my mind. Not everything revolves around you, you know? I didn't know you were coming here, but since you are here...
I force a smile, then say,
Welcome to Seaside Suites, sir. It's a pleasure to see you here. Now, would you like it if I led you to your table?
Somehow she maintains a straight face. Oh my god. I can't believe Shoal came back for dating advice. That's so fucking hilarious. You know what? I think we will get another stream out of this, because I don't know how long these other two endings are gonna be. Because this was surprisingly long. And there are still some choices that I haven't seen that revolve around Noreen. So I still have like whole chunks of the main story where you're still making choices to read. So honestly, this might be a good stopping point, and I save the 2 dividing routes for next time. And hey, we get to spend more time with this game a little more, which I think is fun. Because I'm also tired and my throat's starting to hurt a lot. I'm like going hoarse. Give me 1 second, I'll be right back. I need to blow my nose real quick. Huh. They could have easily just made this route end like 5 minutes after the choice. And they could have, but they were like, hey, you know what? Let's give you backstory. And it's like, you know what? I actually appreciate that. They really could have made that end shorter, but I kind of like the extra details they added, because it just fleshes out Marina's little story a little more. And it's nice to know more about a side character who hasn't really gotten that much of a shine too. But yeah, no, that was enjoyable. Also to voice Diddy as she swore like a banshee. Fantastic. But yeah, no, we'll save the final 2 endings, which I believe are Misuzu romance and Noreen romance, for next time. So we still get more time with this game. But let me X out of the game and move over to the free talk screen, because my god, my throat is killing me. Asuka's voice really does take it out of me. Also, I do want to thank you guys. We've reached a funny number of subscribers. We're at 1,691. It's awesome. We got the 69. Nice. But yeah, no, thank you guys once again for supporting the channel, as you guys do. It's always great to see the channel grow, even though I don't really do much to make it grow. I will say. But I'm happy to see it. Nice indeed. But anyways, guys, that'll be it for today. I will be working on, of course, my music stuff for you guys. Still waiting to hear back from an artist. I think I'm gonna push up my decision date to mid June, because I do want to try to get it out before June ends, if I can. So I think like next week I'm probably gonna call it and then get a new thumbnail artist. Unfortunately, I'm very sad I'm gonna have to do this, but life is life sometimes. So hopefully my next cover, which will be Ego Renegade Boy by Flavor Folly, should come out this month. So please look forward to that. But anyways, that's it from me. Thank you guys so much for stopping by.
I hope you had as much fun as I did, whether you were a live viewer or if you're watching from the VOD. And I will see you guys next time. Otsushiro! See ya!